If you have a perfect credit score, does that mean that you can go finance $1 million car?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Well,
I think
A,
the
B, and C.
Kardashians did something that nobody else knows about. I think they single-handedly marketed the G-Wagon as a suburban mom car.
Absolutely.
Because if you look at the 2018 G-Wagon, they were miserable cars. They're
why is
terrible
Mercedes
cars.
not just paying them
What is a car that gets the most female attention?
100%, unequivocally, without any doubt, it's
Because if you go to Colombia for the first time and you're not an expert, like I've been there a bunch of times, you're going to walk right into the trap of what is the trap of sex work, tourism.
And don't forget, Americans have been killed.
What is up, guys? Welcome to the Basani podcast. I have a very good friend of mine, a very well-esteemed guest here, Mr. Omar, the car hacker. I've known Omar for a long period of time. There's a lot of people I bring on this podcast that I just kind of like meet, and we meet through social media. But Omar, I've had the pleasure of working with on a personal level. I've obviously, been around you a lot. They're going to hear about this. I've been at your wedding, a lot of different stuff, met your family. So Omar, we have a couple topics I want to cover here. So number one, this is long overdue. First and foremost, Omar is an expert when it comes to buying cars and everything cars, okay? If you're ever looking to buy a car, this is the guy I go to. This is the guy I go to for myself buying cars. And number two, Omar has had a very unique experience with his relationship and his dating lifestyle. So I want to talk about these two areas in particular, but first I want to kind of break down the cars, okay? I want to kind of go into who you are. So you're the car hacker, and effectively you help people find their dream car, help negotiate prices, help with, getting dealers, clients as well. You also work on the dealership side. So you work on both sides. You're not just like, hey, screw the dealer, I hate you, we're going to negotiate. You're also on the dealer side like, hey, let me find you clients. I know people that want to buy this car. I have 2-3 purchases lined up. Why did you get in the car business? Why do you like cars so much?
So first off, one, thank you for having me. I think it is long overdue. We went from a business relationship to personal and back to business. So when we think about cars, the one thing everyone recognizes is it is probably one of the most antiquated businesses that has not necessarily innovated to where we are today from a technological society. And people are spending hours at just one dealership, and they potentially end up walking away without getting the deal they need. So what happens is you have someone like me who has gone through the pain, the suffering of financial loss, not knowing how to work with a salesman or a sales manager. I started getting into this because back in 2004, I got a Volkswagen R32. I was excited. I love cars like most guys do, right? And I was sold on the fact that it was a limited edition car. There's only a couple of thousand. And I made the mistake as a young kid buying this $32,000 Volkswagen when I shouldn't have. And when I realized only, a month or two later that I was so underwater on this car, it pissed me off. It made me angry. And I started spinning my wheels and trying to figure out how many more people were suffering from something like this. You see, car purchases are essentially, people would think, the second most important purchase you'd make in your life. First being a home purchase.
Yes.
I now argue that car purchases are the most expensive financial decision you make because most people are making a car purchase more often than they are making a home purchase.
Correct.
Highly debatable, of course.
Yeah.
Right? But this is where it comes into play of what do you do? And that's why I started the Car Hacker, before there was even, before social media became prevalent, where I was helping out friends and family, colleagues at work through a manual process. Hey, I already have the relationships set up at this dealership, because they saw me all the time coming in and asking about the cars, and then started digging in deeper into like, hey, how do you guys make money? And when I started learning about the business, it felt a little unethical in my opinion back then.
In the sales aspect.
In the sales aspect, exactly. Okay. And what I quickly learned was the dealership model is great for the salespeople in the dealerships. They can make money off of you from the sales price of the car. They can make money from you off the trade-in of the car. Mm-hmm. They can make money off of you from the financing that they get approved for the car, and they just bump it up a little bit, a few points to make money on the financial side. Or they can just make money from you simply in the finance office when they charge you for VIN etching, pinstriping, PPF. And given, no one is saying that add-ons are not worth it.
Yeah.
But again, they're charging a markup. So I came into play because I wanted to even the playing field for people. I don't like it. There have been times when I've spent, some time at a dealership on a weekend. I'm just looking at a few cars and I overhear the conversations. I see a car salesman come in with this old antiquated 4 square piece of paper and I hear him, what do you want your payments to be? It's wrong, right? People should not be focusing on monthly payments. They should be focusing on the sales price of the car relative to
Let me
MSRP.
ask you this. So obviously if someone doesn't have experience, they should come to you for a car, right? But for all the people that are still going to go about it and say, I'm going to go, my uncle's a car salesman, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know him personally. What are like the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to buying a car? Like the biggest rookie moves?
Emotionally falling into the trap of telling people, I love this, I want this.
So when you go to the car dealership, I'm going to kind of pick you down here, okay?
Sure.
Piece by piece.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to test drive the car? Would you like to test drive it? Is that a sales tactic?
It is.
Okay.
The goal is to get you to fall in love with the car.
And if you say that I love this car, you're basically telling the salesperson, hey.
They have leverage.
Okay. Now, on the technical aspect, let's say I do love the car. Let's say he knows I like the car. I came in and I asked for this Audi or this Mercedes, okay, whatever it is. What are the mistakes that I can now make? So I'm the sales guy. Okay, Omar, you love this Toyota Camry, okay? Whatever, or this Mercedes C300. We'll use it a little bit of a nicer car, okay?
Sure.
This C300 Mercedes, you love this car. What is the next step that I'm going to do to kind of break you down?
You're going to ask me what payment I'm aiming to get.
So what are you able to afford, Omar? And so this is where they're going to basically find out if they can get you a loan with interest.
Correct.
And then make money on that.
Not just the loan, the sales price of the car, because you can get anyone to any payment they want
Theoretically.
with money out of pocket.
Yeah.
So, hey, you love this. You want $300 a month. We're going to get you there.
Yeah.
You got to throw $6,000 out of pocket.
Yeah.
Everyone's ignoring the fact that the sales price of the car has always been negotiable for 20, 30, 40, God knows how many years.
On average, what's the margin that if a dealership has a car at $20,000, is there like a set number that they typically have it marked up to? Or are they marking it up $5,000 on average?
Every single manufacturer is going to be different with respect to margins.
So a bigger car like a Rolls Royce that would be like $250,000 might have a $10K, $15K markup.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You're not, but we're talking percentages. This
Yeah.
is all a game of percentages and margin, right? I try and go to a Honda, I'm going to be able to get 10% off if I really have a great relationship with the GM. Most times they bring you to invoice.
I'm going to get the car. What do I have to pay a month? Because I think that's where the expenses stop and they don't really understand that. Okay. So obviously, let me break this down for all the viewers. You buy a car, the price itself is negotiable. They can fluctuate the monthly payment because they can basically have you put down more money, which means more money out of your pocket, or they can theoretically give you a longer loan with more interest for whatever payment it is. Am I correct or wrong?
Absolutely. Their game is to get you to focus on payment.
Yes.
Every consumer's game should be to focus just on sales price of the car, aka cap cost.
The bottom line of the car.
Yes.
Let's say the car, the C300 Mercedes is $40,000, hypothetically.
Yep.
Okay. So if I can get the monthly payment lower, I theoretically increase the cost of the car because I'm increasing the interest on it, right? But that doesn't show because a loan is separate.
Well, once you agree on that, if you play into that game and you agree on the payment, right, you're basically agreeing to the car at MSRP.
Yeah.
Which is, again, it's a shell game, right? You're taking out of this hand, you're putting into this hand when it comes to how much money you put down to get to this payment.
Let me ask you another thing. Should I come with my own loan pre-approved?
If you're shopping for a used car, 5 years or older, single owner, 5 years, 10, 12,000 miles a year on average, so 50 to 60,000 miles on the car, the answer is yes.
How can I find out if it's a single owner? I know the answer to this, but I'm just saying for...
Oh, it's okay. Every single vehicle has a Carfax, especially when you're shopping from a reputable dealer or even like used car lot. Everyone needs to be checking the Carfax to ensure you have one owner, clean title, it's not a salvage or a rebuild.
Tells you service items and everything like that.
Correct. Otherwise, nobody at all should ever be going to a new car dealership and be financing a new car, or even worse, the dumbest flex. I mean, we're here in Miami. We hear it all the time. I paid cash.
Yeah.
The dumbest thing anyone could do.
I don't think paying cash for a car is good.
It's not a flex. it shows that you're financially illiterate.
But I've paid cash for cars.
But not anymore.
Yeah, I paid cash for cars.
Unless it's used. You're not going to buy a brand new car used.
No, I don't like paying cash for... I like to finance things as much as possible.
Sure.
One thing about me that I've not been good at, confession of mine, is I haven't really utilized my credit. I don't use my credit a lot.
And we've had this conversation offline many times.
Because I always had a philosophy when I was younger. So this is a true story. When I was younger, I didn't believe in credit. I was like, okay, people that use credit are people that are procrastinating on buying things that they can't necessarily afford. Now, mind you, I eventually ended up getting a credit card from Huntington Bank, which is a predominantly Ohio, kind of like Michigan-based bank, all right? Huntington Bank. If you guys live there, you know what it is. They're not really found around here or anywhere outside of the world, right? So I got a $1,000 credit card from Huntington Bank, which I ended up not paying for years, by the way.
Oh, man.
So I had 300-ish credit when I turned 23, 24, right? And I didn't use credit at all. And somebody had checked my credit for something. They checked my credit for some application. I think I was trying to get a house. And I was like, why do I, need this?
Yeah.
I have the money, so on and so forth. But when it comes to my apartment and stuff, obviously it's not something that I could pay up front and be like, yo, here's 12 months of rent. At the time, it wasn't like a thing I wanted to do.
Yeah. And
so I needed the credit. And that's something that really got me into building credit. My credit now, as we check today, is around 700 something, 750, 740. I still don't use credit a lot. But when it comes to getting a car loan, right, I did use I did get a loan with my car to build my credit, actually. It was very backwards, right? I used the loan. I have the money, obviously, in cash. I don't want to spend the money in cash because that's opportunity cost that I can use for other businesses and ventures. So I like using the credit now to buy cars. But one thing about cars, and maybe you'll explain this better, if you have a perfect credit score, does that mean that you can go finance $1 million car?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Well, there's a saying to it, and I shared it on my live yesterday, but as funny as it may sound, there are levels to this game.
Yeah, there's people that have 680 credits that can get nicer cars than someone that has 800.
Absolutely.
And that's because of loan history.
Absolutely. So there's not just your credit score you got to worry about. There's also your auto FICO score. And that's what the car manufacturers and dealers are actually looking at.
What is the auto FICO score?
It's completely different. It is based. It's still going to be based off of your credit and your credit, the credit reporting agencies, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. But it is more solely focused on your monthly payments,
your loan history, your monthly payments,
relative to the cars that you have been paying for.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. Right, I have 800 credit, great money, but can I go in tomorrow? Even with a Urus on my back, my credit report, and a couple Lamborghinis, can I go get a Bugatti tomorrow?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Unless I'm paying pure cash for it, which this is an outlier, which you can always
do. A payment on a Bugatti, from what I know here in Miami, is around $50,000, $60,000.
Correct. But even if I have that money, right, am I going to be able to go to Volkswagen basically and say, hey, I want to buy this car and I just want to, finance it or lease it? They'll tell you no. Unless you want to put down 60, 70%. When I say there are levels to this, I mean you can respectfully go from a BMW M3 to a Mercedes E63 to an M8 BMW to an Audi R8.
This is something I've learned in the car game. You have to graduate in the loans that you take. Absolutely. So that's exactly why I took a loan on my latest car that I got. Not because I needed the money, but because I want to create the loan history to buy vehicles in case I do want to finance something down the road. I didn't even realize this was a thing.
Absolutely. Now, you can skip the car level game if you're just adequately loaded beyond belief and you want to put down, call 50% on an Aventador SVJ. All right, cool. You're going to give the bank $400K. They'll take the risk and give you the other $350. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Because if you're still coming to the table and the last car you had on your credit was
$70,000, $80,000, it's not realistic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why? What happened to create this jump?
The last car that I bought was $60-something thousand on credit. Okay, I financed the vehicle, paid the loan off. The next car I got more recently, the loan I took on it was around $80,000. Wow. And I couldn't get more, honestly, which was surprising to me considering my income and everything like that. Yeah. But I put half the money down theoretically. And I paid half, but I took the loan. I crushed the loan, right? So now I'm looking to get $100,000, a little bit more, and leveling up.
I mean, people should take note from you. You're highly successful. You have multiple businesses. You have more than enough cash. But if you yourself went to Rolls Royce tomorrow,
probably wouldn't do it. Because I don't have the loan history, the car loan history.
Yeah, yeah. But then it leads you to just ask yourself and wonder what has gotten us to this point in society, especially in America, where we want these cars. And I'd venture to say it's driven by multiple factors.
Well,
right?
I would say number one, social media by far
Absolutely.
is you see 21-year-olds. I mean, I see them here, like with Lambos, with I see 25-year-olds with Rolls-Royce Phantoms. This is you're a mafia boss type car.
Yeah.
This is a big dog car, but people have it because you can make money on the internet now. And every single person that's young thinks that I need to be 18 years old. There's guys that work for a company that are 18 years old that drive M3s. There's a guy that's 20 years old that has an S-Class Mercedes. I mean, like, it's crazy. And so the internet makes you feel like, number one, if you're not driving a nice car with $1,000 car payment, you're a fucking loser. That's the first thing. Second thing is, it's not even that pressure on the guys, I think, because the majority of high-ticket car buyers are men. They're men.
Yeah.
And in certain brands, it's almost exclusively men. Like Ferrari, I think 99.9% of Ferrari owners are all men. They're all men. Lamborghini has more females on it.
Correct.
But Ferrari almost exclusively is all men. Mercedes now has a large female ownership as well.
Yeah.
But BMW, majority of clientele are men. Yep. Like a lot of these clientele are men. And there's a pressure from social media as a man itself. Like if you're not driving a fucking nice car, blah, blah, core sellers, all the influencers. But the second thing is women also have jumped into the fantasy of I want to be passenger princess.
Correct.
I want to have a man pay for my nice car.
Yeah.
And so that's the first aspect. The second aspect is a lot of our society today is more of like, can you prove it, right? Can you actually prove it, right? Because before, the last name that you used to have carried weight. I'm Sir John of the Elder family. I have this, we have that, we have that. But now, having an expensive car is like proof in the pudding. And one thing I'll say this very openly. When I see guys buy nice watches, this is a $300 G-Shock, by the way. Check it out. When I see guys buy nice cars, when I see them have nice jewelry, I don't think that they're making the smartest financial decision, but I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers spend money. They spend money. They spend money. And when you can spend money and drive it and not care, and that's a real flex.
Yeah.
I think cars are the best flex out there because, one, I don't notice the difference between a Richard Mille and a G-Shock. I do notice the difference between my G-Wagon and a Wrangler. There's a big difference. And how it drives, the tech, everything in between.
Yeah.
But why do you think it's become such a big thing in car buying nowadays? It's the internet, I think.
I would say to you it's definitely an internet. But we have also lived our lives and experienced a complete paradigm shift when it comes to the world of dating. I mean, you know this better than probably anyone else, having been a relationship coach, a life coach, financial coach. What are the goals of today when it comes to finding the right partner? Mm-hmm. Again, what has society set upon us as men of what we need to do? Mm-hmm. Need to have the nice car.
Yep.
Need to have the home, the nice clothes, the designer brand stuff. All the bullshit that really doesn't matter because it's on the surface. And women have kind of like somehow ingrained this in men as well. Or like if you're not 6 feet tall, 6-inch cock, six pack abs,
six
figures
car.
a year, then you're not on my level. But you're a torta, you're a 4. What gave you that expectation in life?
It gives guys a lot of confidence to drive a nice car too.
It does.
Here's another thing too. This is another thing I wanted to talk to you about, and I don't think anybody's talked about it at all. A lot of luxury cars are not luxury brands anymore. Like you get into a new Mazda, you get into a new Toyota, heated, cooled seats, CarPlay. It has everything it has Bluetooth.
They leveled the playing field.
Yeah, I don't think it's like.
But it doesn't matter because it's no different than your luxury bags. Mm-hmm. We could go to Target and go find a bag that has the same functional utility as a Louis.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because what has society set upon us?
But cars used to be different, Omar.
Absolutely.
I
didn't see too many BMWs or Mercedes back then.
Back in the day, the Mercedes, they were different. They had the role that you can control the passenger window.
Yeah.
You had the cigarette trays. You had the ashtray. You had more space. You had leather seats.
You had the mobile phone.
Yeah, you had the phone in the car.
Little boomerang antenna in the back.
There's different. There was an ice tray, ice cooler, whatever it is. With 8 air conditioning now, you don't even need the ice tray anymore. It's just like they have. But like the new Santa Fe, not even I just saw a review on it. The new Lexus GX, the new all these cars, they're arguably better, if not the same, than the Range Rover Defender. than the G63s. Like, these cars have a stupid amount of tech in them.
They feel the need, right? You know, you think about, like you mentioned, the Santa Fe, like Hyundai, Toyota, and Honda. They have all realized that they have to step their game up to even the playing field. Otherwise, BMW, which their business model is really predicated upon having very successful leases, right? Because people want the newest and the greatest.
Yes.
Right? Your car is now tech.
Yeah.
It's not just four wheels get you from A to B, it's tech. And guess what? Every 3 years, 4 years, tech will turn and burn. So you don't want to be obsolete. You don't want to be left behind. The idea of keeping up with the Joneses is more prevalent now than ever before. And you know who you could thank for that? The Kardashians.
Really?
Everyone is like, especially, it's a ripple effect on society,
Yeah.
right? You got the women and the girls mostly watching this. An expectation is set.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to date this girl, but her expectation is X, Y, and Z. As a man, I want to go make sure I accomplish
I think
A,
the
B, and C.
Kardashians did something that nobody else knows about. I think they single-handedly marketed the G-Wagon as a suburban mom car.
Absolutely.
Because if you look at the 2018 G-Wagon, they were miserable cars. They're
Why is
terrible
Mercedes
cars.
not just paying them royalties nonstop?
They were in
Like,
the new Mercedes ad. Actually, Ben shot that, which is funny for the new G-Wagons, but our buddy Ben. But the thing is, like, they were driving these shit G-Wagons. Like, the old G-Wagons are dog shit cars.
Yeah.
Great for camping. You want to go camping? Great. You want to go on a military expedition? Great. Terrible suspension. Terrible on the road. Absolutely no tech. I got the new G-Wagon. It's totally mom made. You know, it's like a suburban mom car now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I can get how a nice suburban mom wants to drive this car. It's fucking awesome. But they drove those cars like they were literally gold. They marketed them. And every girl wants a G-Wagon. Every rapper started buying a G-Wagon.
Yep.
Here's the thing, though. Like, back to the point I was making. That I'm now looking for a new SUV, which I've come to you about.
Sure.
Bro, I've even looked at the Genesis. Like, the tech in the Genesis is crazy. Like, these cars are actually ridiculously good. Like, they're built well.
Tiger survived it when it flipped over. You know, I mean, don't forget that. I don't know if that's a positive thing or a negative thing for Hyundai to think about with the Genesis, but do you remember, like, around 8-9 years ago when Tiger
Woods?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
Flipped, rolled the car, was in a hospital, broke like God knows how many bones
But
in
he
his
survived.
body, ruptured everything. Yeah, he survived, right? But again, that could be a positive thing or a negative thing.
But the new Mazdas, the new Toyota,
better, man.
the new Toyota Tundras, they have heated, cooled seats. They have, arguably, next thing you know, they're going to have massaging seats.
But also, the price points have also increased.
Yes,
They're not offering these goodies for free.
No, they're not.
Right? You do we do experience inflation, right? We've obviously experienced a significant increase in the cost of goods. And as a result, how do you justify marking up a vehicle that was, 10 grand less several years ago without actually justifying it with a value prop of, hey, you got navigation, you got heated seats.
And the tech is good.
You have built-in features that you didn't have before.
Yeah.
Right? So these companies are trying to actually innovate.
Let me ask you this. What's the number one car brand in your opinion? Overall.
I mean, hands down, it's Volkswagen, right? But it's by default.
Yeah,
because
by
they own
large.
so
But individually niche. As a conglomerate, you're right. Lamborghini, Bugatti,
they own a lot.
Audi, fucking everything.
Yeah. So if you're just talking about singular brand, or are you talking about from a car consumer preference, or are you talking about
A generalistic consumer preference, right? The number one car brand.
Well, you're talking about differentiating Burger King, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and Pepsi.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Toyota and
if
Honda.
I had to say what's the number one restaurant brand in the world, I honestly would say McDonald's.
Yeah.
I'm talking just by volume. I'm talking by size.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about, even here in Miami where we see all the greatest luxury exotics, Toyota and Honda are still prevalent no matter where you go.
Toyota and Honda,
in
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I would honestly say Tesla's coming up too.
Here's the thing. I made jokes about this with you the other day.
Yeah.
So if I was ever going to commit a crime, it'd be in a Tesla.
Yeah.
Because everywhere you look, you see Tesla, Tesla, Tesla. Unfortunately, Tesla's residual values are dog shit.
Okay.
But why?
EVs. Yeah.
And, you can run an engine for a combustion engine in a gas-powered vehicle. We've seen it 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 miles, right? The question is, going back to 2015, 14 Teslas, at what point does the longevity of these batteries fade? Our iPhones, right? If you look at general battery life of your iPhone, it'll tell you right now you have 84, 86% left.
Yeah.
Tesla's no different. It's just on a larger scale.
So yeah, how long do those last?
No one is going out and buying a used 16 Tesla or 17 Tesla. You go and charge it, you're going to get half.
Nothing. Yeah.
You're going to get nothing. So that's why the residuals are so low. But they've now switched their business model back to where now you can lease the car and buy it at the end of the lease. Unfortunately for Tesla, unless they right-size the residual to where it is beneficial for the consumer, no one is going to want to do that because it continues to tank on value as they continue to decrease their prices, just so they can continue to acquire more market share. You got to understand, Porsche has the Taycan, right?
That went to...
Every EV is going down. But Tesla's starting to lose a little market share here and there because have they really innovated on their body style?
But I feel like they're
No.
still gonna be dominant because they have all the superchargers. They have the whole network, which by default wins for them. They are the best at the AI drive. I mean, I've looked at the whole.
Now,
yeah, they are the best at it right now. So if you were to buy a dream car, what would it be?
My dream car.
Your dream car?
I mean, without a doubt, it'd be a Chiron.
Bugatti Chiron.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm a firm believer that
Is it a statement?
it's the accomplishment.
Yeah.
It's the accolade associated with getting there. To me, it's the pinnacle, the peak of the pyramid. Again, I'm a firm believer that every vehicle should match the owner's personality, drive, maybe their career, what they do day to day. Wouldn't it be weird to just see Shaq driving a minivan?
He drives a Rolls Royce from what I've seen.
He ain't driving a minivan.
With the top down.
Yeah. Like, you ever see him try and get into a Huracan?
No. I've seen him get
Funniest thing in the world.
Yeah, I think he did a video on it.
Yeah. Vehicles need to match people. They need to match
Yeah.
their aspirations and their goals, who they are. Like, are you an athlete, for example? So, I mean, when you ask me about the Chiron, it's not just the statement that's associated with attaining a rare vehicle, but, you know, I've been an athlete my whole life. I love that discipline. I love the aiming for a higher purpose and a higher goal. Chiron, when you get there, and I'm sure you'll get there too, no one's ever going to say to you, hey, you got lucky, Sumedh.
It's a very big accomplishment. Like
getting a Lambo or a Ferrari, we see 20 downstairs. Pretty easy to say you got lucky with that, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you went viral.
Yeah.
The Haktua girl went viral in one day or something like that,
and
right?
could buy a Lambo.
Could buy a Lambo. So I call that luck.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. I'm going to give you some categories, and I want you to give me the best car for the category, and then we're going to position into our next topic, right?
Sure.
So, CEO.
S-Class, S580.
S580. Mom.
Audi Q7.
Q7. 21-year-old college student.
Man or woman?
Man. Young. Not a lot of money.
Accord.
Security guard.
Corolla.
Really? Okay.
You need something that's very consistent, that is going to take you hundreds of thousands of miles, but your security guard, you're making $17, $22 an hour. You can't afford more than a $200, $300 payment.
What if so let's take it a step further. What if I'm chauffeuring people in the vehicle?
You're talking about like being
like
Uber kind of guy?
Like, no, concierge service security. I'm a security guard. I have my own vehicle. What do I have? There's a couple options here. Lincoln Navigator, Escalade, Bourbon.
Yeah, but those payments are significantly higher.
Okay.
So if comp is not in line with that, you're just going to bankroll yourself into debt? Doesn't make sense. You're talking about realistically.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you're talking about getting into that kind of game, then that's where you transition to EV. Because as of right now, when we speak, we still have that.
You think EVs are the best for?
What I'm talking about is cost efficiency.
Yeah.
And budgeting, right? And right now, the government, as of today, is still offering a $7,500 federal EV credit. Now, given, in our time, the president is fighting with his best buddy, Elon. They're no longer friends, and the president's threatening to cut that funding. Who knows what will happen? But as long as that's still applicable today, I'm a big fan of EV, but leasing them, I'm not a fan of buying. Now, given full transparency, I own a Model Y. I bought a Model Y, gave it to my wife. I may have regrets, but I do love the fact that I don't have to pay for gas at all.
Yeah.
So,
okay. For dating people, for relationships, what is the most attractive car? I have my own answer to this. What is a car that gets the most female attention?
100%. Unequivocally, without any doubt, it's the G63.
That's what I was going to say as well. That is what I was going to say as well.
More so than a G550,
I'm
which
so
is the
glad
same body.
I was ready to be like, he's going to say Ferrari or Lambo.
I don't, you know.
The G-Wagon gets more attention from women that I've ever, I don't know what it is. I thought the G-Wagon would be like, kind of like a silent.
No. The G-Wagon is the CEO's wife's car.
Yes.
Right? The G-Wagon is the entrepreneur who needs to go buy his wife a new car and spend a specific amount by end of year for the tax write-off.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much
I think that
versatility associated with that.
Women love the G-Wagon. I don't know what it is. And I had this conversation, like, I think the most popular car amongst women.
Back to the Kardashians.
Yeah, the most popular car amongst women is, for some reason, the Mercedes G63.
Yeah.
And it's more popular than I've done this where I've asked women, Porsche Cayenne Turbo, okay? The GTS, I should say. The GTS, right? Which is phenomenal. Crazy car.
Yeah.
Next, Urus, okay? Great car. Audi RS Q8. I've even thrown that in there.
Yeah.
I've thrown Escalade V in there. I've thrown Bentley Bentayga in there. G-Wagon beats them all combined.
My wife refuses to drive my Urus S. Just wants the G63 and nothing else.
Why?
Again, what is the root cause
Of Kardashians?
Yes.
I don't know if it's just that.
Now, I would love to know what people think. Don't get me wrong.
I have a lot of theories about this, right? One, I think it's because
the car's not marketed at all, like Lamborghini or Ferrari. It's never been marketed.
Yeah.
You know? So there's something in our cultural and cultural part
I think
of
it's because
society
girls
that drives
can look at it like, I can crash it. It's ditzy. Girls like the Wrangler too. The Jeep.
Yeah.
The Jeep Wrangler is also a very popular female car. And I think that it's because women can tap into like, oh, I can do it by myself. I can drive it around, put it in the car. It's like that. I'm kind of like, it's not like a ditzy girl car. But at the same time, it's very luxurious. I think the tech in the Mercedes is absolutely insane. Like, the tech is beyond, it's absolutely nuts. But more than anything, I think it's because it sits up high. It's actually not a very big car, the Mercedes G-Wagon. It's a very small car. If you people don't know this unless they have one. Like, if it's the size of a Corolla. It's 3 inches longer than a Corolla, and the Urus is a lot bigger, huge compared to that.
The G is top heavy though.
The G is very big. It's top heavy. It's powerful. It's like
Be careful on those turns.
You don't think it's powerful?
No, it's very powerful. I'm saying be careful on tight turns. When,
yes.
You'll flip.
You'll flip over. Oh yeah. The car is not meant to be handled.
Yeah.
Even when it pulls forward, if you pull it, the whole car shifts backwards.
Yeah.
But that is the car that I've gotten the most attention in when it comes to dating. And so when I tell guys like, okay, I want to buy a Lambo to get women and stuff like that, I think that the Lambo is a guy's car. I think it's good for guys. I think it's a driver's car.
If you want to get men, get a Lambo. You want dick, get a Lambo.
Sports cars.
Big mistake.
Yeah,
a G-Wagon is where you need to be.
Ferraris, Lambos, they get more guy attention than ever. I've never seen more guy attention on those kinds of cars.
But why? You got to understand, right?
Because guys see that.
For the most part, you're typical. I'm not trying to stereotype here, but your average woman is not going to know, they'll see a Ferrari, they'll see a Lamborghini, like, oh, it's a nice car. Mm-hmm. Without understanding the prestige and what it takes to get to that point.
They don't understand a Pista.
Correct.
They don't understand a Special.
Correct.
They don't understand an Aperta.
Correct. Again, this is a guy hobby.
Yes.
And again, we're stereotyping here. This is like you and I walking around and seeing somebody with a crocodile Birkin and us understanding.
I was about to say the same thing.
I know, again, thanks to my wife, I know what a Birkin is.
I don't know the difference between.
But do you know the difference with the rare releases that are only offered to VIPs versus a normal one? Right?
I don't know the difference between certain clothing. Girls tell me, oh my God, like, you wear a nice purse and you feel confident. I'm like, what fucking confidence does it give you? Because no guy is looking at your fucking purse. No guy is saying, oh, she got a Birkin? Now I'm getting it. Now I feel good, baby. Now you're doing it for me. Not a single guy is looking at a girl with a Birkin and saying, that's my wife right there. I want a girl with a Birkin. I need a girl. I don't care if she's wearing Kate Spade, the Coach. I don't care if it's fake. Honestly, I'd probably respect her more if it was a fake Louis V.
Yeah. This is where I give credit to the ladies. They know that, right? You know this when you go down. Why are women dressing sexy, even provocative, whatsoever on a Friday, Saturday night? You ask them, like, well, I'm not doing it for men. I'm not doing it for that. They're doing it because they're in competition with other women.
Exactly.
They know when they have that purse, other women are going to see that purse. But what do men do? I want this car because it's going to get me female attention.
Yes.
I want this car because it's going to give me access to what other people don't have
I
access
think that
to.
men are in competition with women and women are in competition with women.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think women are in competition with men at all.
Absolutely not.
I don't think women care to flex on men,
Nope.
to impress men,
Nope.
to beat men in any way, shape, or form.
Correct.
And a single girl. But they care a lot about what their friends think.
Yeah.
They care a lot about what other... That's why a lot of good relationships are torn apart by their female best friend.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of women will wear designer bags when they know it offers absolutely zero value, I think, in the real world at all.
Absolutely.
Not one bit. I wish there was a girl that came... Like, I was in this business deal, and I had my Birkin, and I set it down on the table, and that's where he said, you know what? We're going to make an offer for you now.
Yeah.
Now that we see it. It's not a single
But
thing.
let's now flip that conversation
Into
back on
cars.
men. Yeah.
Yes.
Why do we drive the cars we drive?
It
What
gets
do you think?
instant respect for men.
Absolutely.
Instant respect. Like, you driving a nice car, like, number one, increases your dating pool substantially.
Yeah.
Substantially, right? It's the first thing. Second thing, it builds trust in every guy that dude, you drive around with a G-Wagon, a Lambo, whatever it is, people are going to look at you and be like, hey, man, like, what do you do for a living? Or even if they're not saying that, there's a subliminal... Like, there's a lot of guys that make money. Like, I'm not saying that everyone's going to see a G-Wagon and be like, oh, my God, like, I need to go shake his hand. Like, there's a lot of guys that make that kind of money, have that kind of money. But there's an instant sign of, okay, you're doing something right. Correct. You're making some kind of money. I don't care if it's family money or this. There's something that's going on here. Yeah. And it's an instant first impression. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression.
And it's so important to men that they will even fake it until they make it. Scottsdale, where I live, is the capital of the proverbial $30,000 millionaire. Men will stretch themselves as thin as they can go to get into that, that 4 Series convertible, right? Or even an M3.
Welcome to Miami, man. This is where people rent cars.
Yeah.
People rent cars, flex them up.
And up until maybe like a few years ago, I haven't. There's a new business model out there. I haven't looked into it, but where women are going out and renting the Birkin for the night.
I've never heard of that. That's crazy.
There is some type of business out there where women now could go rent designer XYZ. I think it's nuts because I think the female mentality is very different than men. Men will stretch themselves thin to get whatever it is they need to impress the CEO when they're taken out to dinner to close a deal or what have you.
Yeah.
But again, they're built different than us for a
Well,
reason.
men have been historically known to drive cars. A car is an extension of a man. Like, you go to certain places like...
A car is an extension of a
You go to places like India. India is a great example of this. People will live in a shit place, a shit bed, a shit room. Yeah. They'll have a nice watch. They'll have nice jewelry. They'll have a brand new cell phone, and they'll have a good car.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They'll have a good vehicle. Yeah. And it's because people look at cars like, I can take this with me. Yeah. This can get me there. Yeah. This house... can't do much for me. This house can't your house is your space. You're not showing off your house all the like when I first meet a girl, it's not always like, welcome to this is my house. Like look, here's the photos of my house. Yeah. The first thing she's gonna see of me is my car,
your shoes,
my clothes, my watch, my this, my that. And this kind of watch will get you like you have a $300 watch, it's gonna look good no matter what. Fine. People are gonna be respectable.
It's fine.
It's gonna be cool, right? Even if you haven't the Apple Watches nowadays, like you can't even say shit. I wear my Apple Watch all the time. It's like I can't tell if you're a tech billionaire or just somebody that got that for Christmas from your dad.
I learned that living in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
I've had the privilege to be in the boardroom with, several billionaires, and I look at the way, they're dressing. This stuff, none of these people that are wealthier than us times 10 are wearing Versace, Gucci, Louis.
They're not.
Right? This brand, right, this family that's created all these brands.
What is the arm? What are they called?
The Laval. I forgot.
They own like 260 brands.
Yeah, it's like a $78 billion family
and their majority clientele is middle class Americans.
Middle class and lower class Americans.
Yes, it's very interesting.
The Saul fan. God,
I know what you're talking about.
Stupid.
It's an old white guy.
Yeah. But again. Right? They've done something smart. They know exactly who their clientele is. But my point is, I have learned this in the Bay Area, having been at Google HQ, Facebook, and so on. You see these people that are successful. They're low-key, man. Some of them will drive even a 20-year-old Volvo. They don't give a shit.
Our CEO for our corporate firm in insurance makes a lot of fucking money, drives a 2016 Tundra.
Crazy, right?
And he doesn't look like he has a lot of... you can tell... Like, he makes a lot of money. Just ridiculous amounts of money. Like, top percentage income in the United States. But drives a 2016 Tundra. does have a Rolex on. I don't know what kind of Rolex on.
Okay.
But it's a Rolex.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything crazy, but he has that on, and
I have a theory. Once you get to that level, you just don't care.
you don't care.
You don't care.
Nothing impresses you anymore.
You have anything and everything you want.
Yeah.
You have access to anything and everything you want. So it's a different mindset and a different level. But until then, back down out of the clouds with us, it's a dogfight to the top of the mountain. Not everyone gets there.
I wanna talk a little bit about how we met and how we connected. I connected with you for dating and relationships.
Yeah.
And you are one of the quote unquote passport bros, if you will, right? I don't know if you adopt that title because it's kind of unique on how your relationship kind of evolved. It wasn't so transactional. You actually went and dated. If I can tell him, I'll tell him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You met. We went to go have a boys' trip in Colombia. Right?
Yep.
We connected. That was our first time meeting, actually.
Yeah.
And in that trip, on the last day, you met your current wife.
Correct.
And you ended up traveling back without me to Colombia multiple times to go date her and talk to her and get to know her. Yeah. And I think that happened for about a year or two?
A year.
You got an apartment there. You lived there half the time, traveled and stuff like that. Yeah. And now you're currently married to her. You did it the right way. You did it like the slow, like regular, normal person way, which a lot of people don't do. And a lot of people ask me about passport bros. A lot of people ask me about the experience, what it can be. And there's a lot of good and there's also a lot of bad.
Correct.
There comes both.
You see, I think there's always a positive truth in anything that has a negative connotation associated with it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the negative, right? What is a passport bro essentially? Someone who's a passport bro is someone who is tired of the female attitude, the female culture in America that's privileged, that's the female boss, the I don't need a man, right? So out of response to not wanting to deal with the fact that I'm going to go date this woman with, 3 baby daddies, right? Because she thinks she deserves the world, whether social media poisoned her brain or not is irrelevant. So I'm going to go to another country where there's more beautiful women and they will respect and appreciate what I bring to the table.
Well, I'll give you my explanation as well of passport bros.
Yeah, I want to know what it is. Tell me.
So if you want to date really, really well in America, like if you really want to do very well here, you have to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because with social media, what's happened is women are now going for the top percentage of guys. Like before, if you're a guy and you have a job and you were there, like, oh, he's a good guy. He's a great guy. He has a job. He's good. He's nice. And it was you picking between 20 guys that lived in your town. 12 of them were married. 3 of them are fucking weird. 1 of them's a rapist. So you have like 4 or 5 guys to choose from. And that's basically it. And you've got to basically pick who wants you the most and who's going to treat you the best. That's literally what marriage was. Yeah. And as a woman, every guy was valuable because they brought home the money. They brought home, and a mailman of 6 could take care of a family. Sure. Nowadays, you can't have that kind of stuff. Feminism was one of the best economic plays, I think, for the United States ever because they doubled the GDP. They put
women went to work.
Women went to work, and women in other countries don't work even as close to the American
Absolutely
woman.
True.
And it has doubled the GDP of the United States.
Absolutely.
It has made us twice as better. I think it's really good for the economy. But what has it done for the household?
Is it good for the nuclear family?
No, it's not.
No.
The entire goal of feminism was to destroy the nuclear family. So now,
but something evolved from that. Something evolved from that we didn't expect. You have this feminism and you have this strength, but at the same time, you had this double-edged sword where you have women that want the accountability of the child, the privilege of being a woman, and they want the respect of a man.
Well, they want the same treatment that they had before.
Call equal rights and equal pay.
But they want the same treatment of I don't have to do anything, I don't have to take out their trash. Which here's the thing. Let's say this is all good. I'm going to argue for the women here. Let's say like you deserve it, you get it, make the money. I was raised by a single mom. If my mom didn't have the ability to work, right, we would be fucked. So this is the thing. And it's like now with social media, men are also going for the very, very ultra attractive women, like pornography, adult content. Men are also going for those kinds of women. Like I want a girl that looks like this. I want a girl that does this and that. You don't think so?
These guys are watching way too much porn. They need to go do something with their fucking life.
But a lot of guys are. But the truth is, the large majority of men are watching porn. I think 99.9% of guys, took me years to get off adult content. It took me years, But, so their standards of what they want from a woman are higher. because they watch porn. Almost 60% of all adult content scenes have some level of violence or submissiveness, or
Crazy
I'm your
shit.
boss, you're my secretary, I owe you, like stepbrother, like all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a level of dominance there, which is not seen in the real world because women are not like that anymore.
Correct.
And women also are seeing on social media that, hey, we have men that are 21 years old buying Ferraris and doing this, that, and third. Why can't we get it? So there's this princess treatment of like, if he wanted to, he would, with a photo of a private jet. If he wanted to, he would with 10 Birkins.
Yeah.
And so women now want more, and they want the top percentage guy because they feel like they deserve it. And whatever. I'm not here to say your delusion isn't real.
Or, right? Either or. The passport. See, I wasn't even aware when we went on this first trip together of what the Passport Bros movement was.
Yes.
I was just, you remember this clearly, I was coming out of a relationship where, you know, I was with my partner, this girl, for several years.
We didn't go in with that mindset.
We didn't. But, you know, I had, she made good money, helped her out, but wanted this equal framework, but at the same time, the privilege of being traditional, like, hey, pay for all of this shit, and we're going to somehow be equals. Sorry. Men and women are not equals.
Yes.
Women bring a great value to the table that men can't bring, vice versa. So me being tired of that, it wasn't just saying like, oh, I can't, you know, I'm not going to be able to find somebody right here. I just wanted I wanted to go somewhere where you'd end up falling into the environment of a traditional mindset.
But here's the thing. If you make $100,000 in the United States, it's not enough money to get a girl to be like, oh my God, my husband makes $100,000. Like,
Sure.
and it's sad.
What's the average salary in the United States?
Right, 40, 50,000.
Most recently, they said around I saw around 62 in
Depends
a
on
Forbes article, but it depends on what we're
on the state.
referencing, right?
Depends on the
right?
state.
And that's average,
Yeah.
right? So if you're making $100,000, you're doing fairly well.
Yeah, but
depending on
girls-
the city that you're in, of course.
But girls don't look at it as that. And here's the thing. If you're not a millionaire, you're not going to get girls to submit to you the way that dating, like you. Here's the thing. If you want to carve through, and that's what all guys dream of when they're young, I want to have access to women.
Yep.
I want to have nice things. And whether women want to say this is true or not, every man works hard and drives that nice car and gets that nice apartment and gets all the nice things because he wants to be impressive to women. He wants to have options. He wants to be able to grow. If men could fuck women in cardboard boxes, I think we'd have cardboard boxes all around, supermodels. If we could do it, we would do it. But men do that because they want to have access. And being a millionaire is now the new standard of what a girl wants. However, it's easy to say that you're a millionaire when you're making $250,000 because you really can live the same lifestyle as a millionaire. You can have the same things. And so if you're not making that kind of money, I actually advise men to go overseas. If you're making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 and you have a good job, you should go overseas.
I disagree, though. You're just basically telling dudes that, like, hey, you're inadequate and you can't cut it here with the chicks, you know, from a financial aspect, so just tuck tail and run. I gave
agree.
up with the mentality. Like, I don't have to compete with women.
Yeah, but
You never should.
But-
so if they have this the Lulu expectation, it's okay, to each their own.
But here's the thing. I think a lot of guys that are on the internet fight the good fight of saying, hey, $100,000, $120,000 is a lot of money. Girls don't give a shit.
Correct. I agree with you on that.
They don't give a shit.
But they want somebody who's making 600, 700 grand, though.
Yes.
That's where they give a
Yes.
shit,
Yes.
right? So, you know, in a sense, I feel bad for this Passport Bros movement because I think it's also been hijacked by this, like, Frankenstein child where you have these other dudes that are going to these third world countries and just, honestly, it's super predatory, right?
Yes.
Taking advantage of these girls.
It's very predatory.
They're finding prostitutes. They're finding younger girls. And, you know, that's not what the original probably intent was. The original intent was, hey, I want to find somebody who is going to be traditional.
I want to find a good traditional wife.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to provide her with a lifestyle that I
Give her
want.
the life.
You
Yeah.
make $40,000, $50,000 in India, USD, it's a fuck ton of money, bro.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. You make that kind of money in Colombia, it's a lot of money. You make
True.
that kind of money in Thailand, it's a lot of money. These are why these areas are such hotbeds because most of the women there, most of the country is still impoverished. They're still struggling.
Now, mind you, what do men value, right? We value
Innocence, loyalty.
physique.
Yes.
Right? Or do we care? Do I care if my wife went to MIT or Dartmouth or
No,
Harvard?
they don't care.
Do I care if my wife was a successful executive at
No.
Salesforce?
No.
I don't give a shit. Do I care how much she has in the bank account?
No.
No. I care about whether she's going to bring me peace.
Yeah.
I care about, her physique. Is she taking care of herself?
Yeah.
And one might say, hey, that's so superficial. But then you can't say that without acknowledging the superficial side
of men.
When a woman wants 6 inches, 6-pack, 6 figures, 6 feet.
But I actually agree with women. I don't think
I'm not mad at it.
I think the selection process that women have when it comes to dating is significantly better than men because
women have more options. Always will.
But it's just that women look for, is he Christian? Is he kind? Is he this?
Nothing
There's a
wrong with
lot
that.
of like good factors that women have. Like money. I think dating for money is a very logical thing to do. At a certain level, it can be very like, in societal terms, it's considered taboo. When I tell women to date successful guys,
you got to provide.
I don't tell her to date a millionaire though. I don't tell her to go for the millionaire because the millionaire has too many options.
I wouldn't recommend some girl go date, somebody who's like working at Walmart at the age of 45. Like at a point as a man, you got to say, what kind of decisions did you make at this point in life to get there?
But I also tell women to go for successful guys, and I also
define success though.
I think that a guy
that's more attitude than where
I think he's passionate about what he's doing. I think he has a goal. I think he wants to grow and increase his income. I think that he has the mindset to take care of her. These are all the things I look at for success. And yes, you're right. It could be defined differently, but with a lot of women, I think their selection process on men is a lot better. But it's so high to the average guy now that they're not being forced to go do this passport bro thing. And I think women look at it very negatively because there's no options here for them.
Correct. Because if you are a top 1%, top 2% guy, you're going to have as high of an expectation for your partner as she will have for you.
Yes.
And if you come to the table with that proverbial body count, if you come to the table with I'm a boss girl and this is what I've accomplished, if you come to the table with things that are just unattractive qualities or previous actions, you automatically eliminate yourself from being able to take that top tier guy.
Well, let's lay out the scenarios. Scenario number one. You want to date a multimillionaire, okay? You're a girl, you want to date a multimillionaire. The problem with dating guys that make a lot of money and that are very successful is typically it bleeds into other areas, and there's good and bad things. The ambition is great when it comes to another car, another house, another jet, but it becomes bad when it comes to another woman, another this. Successful men, one thing I will say very openly is that the more successful a man is, the more options he has, and people are only as loyal as their options. Men that make a lot of money are actually more likely to cheat. That is a true thing. I don't think it's causation. I don't think the Benjamin in your pocket is like, oh.
I don't think you're a cheater and I don't think I'm a cheater.
Yeah, but
if you're generalizing, okay.
I'm generalizing 100%. Like men that are very successful, I wouldn't even say cheating. They're less likely to get into committed relationships at an early age because they have more options. Correct. Because they want to do more things. Because their entire life, they wanted to have women come up to them and say, hey, like, let's hang out. Let's do this. Hit me. I've never had women hit me up the way that I do now. Never in my life. Never in my life. And all these women that are hitting me up are now trying to sell me on settling down. Let's not, like, you should settle, you're 30, you're blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But it's like, dude, this is the first time I've ever gotten this much attention, and now you're telling me to settle down? It seems like very manipulative to me.
It is.
So a lot of these guys...
No one's coming and saying, hey, Sumi, I want to be with you because you are wildly successful and you're worth X.
Yeah. When I was 21 years old... No girl told me to settle down. I guarantee you if I didn't have money right now and I was 30 years old, no girl would be telling me to settle down. They'd be like, get your money up and then you can do it.
Yeah.
Now that I'm doing well at a young age, so that a lot of young millionaires don't want to settle down, so they're bad options for dating. I think that women should avoid them like the plague because these men are most likely just going to hook up with you. And if you're looking for a little bit of fun, if you're in your early 20s and you have the time to spend and you can control your emotional attachment to these situations, or you can get something transactional out of the relationship, I think it may be beneficial for you. But a lot of women that are looking for true love, I would avoid the multimillionaire. Yeah. The second thing I'll say is you should go for the guy that's kind of on the path, like a stock that's going up, and jump onto him and grab onto him. Yeah. But a lot of the guys that, unfortunately, the way the world works, not everybody's going to make $1 million. Not everybody's going to have the mindset that everything. They're not. It's a lot of things. So if you're an average guy, which the majority of men are average guys, which there's nothing wrong with at all, go overseas way better. Because now here's the dark side of it. Here's the dark side. When you bring a girl from overseas, there's also a lot of risk. She may be just marrying you for the money. Sure. She may be she may have a past that you have no clue about. She may have been in sex work and may market herself to you in a different way. Yeah. There's a lot of unknowns that we have to look at that come into it. Yours is a little bit different because you found her when she's working, business owner, blah, blah, blah. You know the history. Yep. But a lot of guys, when they meet a girl, they have no idea about her. They don't speak the language. And the other thing is they don't sit there and date her in her own country for a period of time. They don't actually try to date her where she's at. They immediately get a girl over here, which is the green card thing. And what happens is the moment she gets that green card, the moment that she comes to America, she becomes Americanized.
Yeah.
She becomes Americanized.
Yeah.
All these other girls are doing this. Why the fuck can't I do it? And the funny thing is, she's actually more valuable in a way because she's more sexually desired.
Yeah.
Those girls over there, they take care of themselves a lot more. The level of, you don't have people that are obese like we have here
like America.
Over there. You don't. Even in India, it's less rare. Unless they're like on their 50s, people are just a little bit more conscious of like their weight and stuff.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I just saw like it wasn't a formal study or survey, but numerous times I've seen the publications that ranks the most beautiful women in the world, and Colombia is number one, right? You have Thailand in there. You have Sweden, obviously. You just got to ask yourself, like, if you're a guy in America and you're just tired of the dating pool and the options with the crazy expectations, why sit? Now, again, there is a crazy, dark, predatory side of it.
There's a dark side to it.
And I don't think when we went there just on vacation.
We did not go there with the whole, to be honest with you, when we went there, that passport bro thing, it wasn't really a thing. No. It wasn't really like a big trend.
No.
That really came about like right after it kind of happened.
Yeah.
That's where it happened for you.
When we went, it was our first trip. We were doing a guy's trip, and I think it was fun. We didn't do it, we didn't do anything crazy out of the norm. We went, clubs, bars.
Yeah.
Went walking around sightseeing, which is pretty cool. The horseback riding.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome. Just by sheer luck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a firm believer that when anybody, is ready to meet the right person, if you believe in God, great, or the universe, everything will align.
Yeah.
And with me and my wife, you and I said, let's go get mani-pedis, like, and we went there and we met the owner of that salon. She was,
who ended up bringing her last second, your wife.
Correct. So right when we were done, I was like, hey, I want to get my eyebrows, threaded. And she's like, oh, I got a friend, another business owner. And I remember when I asked Daniela this, she said, I was going to send actually one of my employees. But right in the last second, we had 2 customers come into my place. So I let my employees handle it, and I came out, and that's when I did drive. And I remember you captured a picture of that moment, remember?
Yes, I did.
That moment, and I was sitting there, and I was smiling. Mm-hmm. Because in that moment, the energy, everything shifted. And I remember my wife, she was just stone cold killer in the face, like, I'm just doing your eyes. And finally, at the very end, when I said, hey, you're like, Omar, go talk to her. I'm like, nah, we're going home tomorrow. You're like, go talk to her.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. You're like, if you don't talk to her, I'm going to talk to her. And you knew that was going to get me.
Yeah.
I said, no, I'm going to do this. And at that moment, I asked her if she was single, and she agreed to have a drink. And we went to the
hotel, right?
The hotel bar, lobby bar.
Mm-hmm.
And we kicked it off for 2-3 hours. And then I said something really creepy to her. I said, I'm going to marry you one day. You know this. And she looked at me and smiled. Then she said in Spanish that I was crazy. I said, you're absolutely right, but mark my words.
That's good.
Right? And, the rest became history, because for 1 year, 36 times, I traveled to Colombia.
Which is what you did correctly.
Right.
Which is the correct thing that you did, because most guys don't do that. Most guys just, they see a pretty girl, they see how she is in her. Those girls are a lot different in the way that they behave, right? Yeah. Good and bad. Like, there's good and bad that comes with it. I'm not here to just shit on all American girls. Like, listen, I got a lot of respect for girls that work here. There's girls that go 50-50 with their man. There's girls that help pay the bills and help pay the rent. And sometimes when things are not good, they'll pay the rent. Like, shout out to all the girls that do that. Yeah. This is not found in any other countries. Like, this does not exist. Like, girls paying the bills, girls taking care of things, girls splitting it. Like, this does not occur.
Non-existent.
It's non-existent in every other country. Like, 50% of the world does not have this at all whatsoever. So when people try to shit on American girls, or like say, oh, these girls are like useless and blah, blah, they may not be your ideal perfect wife in like certain aspects, but they'll be a great partner to you. And I think that as long as you can be very okay with the dynamic of, hey, we're 50-50, we're equal, like it's almost like a direct partnership, That's what it's really good to be in a relationship with a girl like that. And especially if you're building up, it's good.
You want to have a co-CEO in your life? There's nothing wrong with it.
Co-CEO, co-partner. If you're a guy that's already made it and has made a lot of money and you just kind of want like certain traditional roles.
Yeah.
And that for a lot of guys want that. The thing is, you make 40K, you go over there, you're a king. And for someone like us, when we make more, it's like even crazier.
Yeah, it's a whole nother lifestyle. And with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Right. Thank God we're these horrible people that are doing, crazy things. We've seen it. We've watched it in real time unfold. And here's what I could say. I believe I'm an outlier because I think I got lucky. I did do it. Again, 30 something times traveling back and forth. But even today now, married to my wife. Next year is our 1 year since our wedding that you came to. But been together for 2 years and. She's a loyal partner. She's smart. She's a business owner, right? She's a boss. But here's the thing. She knows exactly what happens when you turn those lights off in the business that we have in Scottsdale and you come home. She's a completely different person. She is my wife, my partner. She is my home. And in return, I provide that same mutual love, respect, and foundation for her to be able to relax and feel safe in. Right? All the toxicity of what social media shows you and what to expect, all that shit goes out the door. Right? And I think that's you could find that in America. I'm not saying you can't.
You can find it anywhere.
I just got lucky. There was no intent to go find a girl or date anyone. I didn't give a shit. I just broken up with somebody that it was a headache.
Yeah.
So, God puts us in these places for a reason.
I think that when you're going through a breakup as a guy and you're not feeling your strongest, trips, not even just to Colombia, but like just anywhere in the world, theoretically, female attention is the best way to get over a breakup. If like you, like the way I look at it is the only way you actually get over a breakup at all ever is to find somebody better. That's it. Yeah. Because if you're unable to find somebody better, then you live in the reality and the truth of that was the best thing I ever had. And that's a very dark regret. Yeah. And obviously, as you get older in life, when you're 50, 60, 70, whatever it may be, you can think back to the quality of relationships that you've had with when you were younger and stuff, and you may even be able to like assess that this was better or this was not better. But if you're going through a breakup, the number one thing that's going to allow you to shift your mindset off that person is a better, higher quality partner. Yeah. Not necessarily like better looking or more finances. It's just more compatible with you. Yeah. Like if I'm dating a girl that didn't speak my language and I loved her and I cared about her and I met somebody that spoke my language, hypothetically, I probably would have a more compatible relationship with that person, even if they didn't look the same way or were the same characteristics. So for you, you found someone that was on paper in every aspect better.
Absolutely.
And that's why
every single aspect. I mean, and think about the problems. We didn't speak the same language.
Yeah.
We don't come from the same faith. She's a Catholic.
Different country.
She's Catholic. I'm Muslim. She's Colombian. I'm American.
Yeah.
Right. But we both shared a really tight foundational belief of what does family look like, what is prioritized in life, and to us, it's our relationships, right? There's no real. The relationships are the most important thing you can have in life. The cars that we're talking about, it's meaningless.
Yeah.
The businesses we build, sure, it's a legacy you can leave behind. But the relationships that we build together, that is the everlasting tale that sticks with us to when we go into the ground.
Let me ask you this. If I wanted to go do Passport Pros, if I wanted to go meet my wife, and I wanted to
Please don't do that.
I won't.
Then I'm going to have to come with you, and I'm going to...
But if I had to do the same thing that you did, how would you map it out to somebody? Would you recommend it even? Would you even recommend it?
I would recommend it with zero expectation that anything is ever going to happen.
Okay.
You got to go for just the experience. Get yourself outside of your bubble, outside of your box in Miami or Manhattan or LA. Get to see what life is really like outside of our world. Because the way we see things and perceive things on social media is very different in other countries.
Yes.
The algorithm treats everybody different. So, if you want to do it for the right reasons. Do it because you want to explore. You want to expand your own horizons. You want to grow. You want to meet people. You want to learn. Mm-hmm. Right? Again, we went with absolutely zero intention and a clear mind, which was great. I think if we went with completely different intentions, the way the dark side of the Passport Bros movement has gone, I don't think things would have
I wouldn't even recommend Colombia because the problem with Colombia is like There's a lot of sex work.
There is.
And you have no idea what you're walking into. And it's better to go to a country without that much sex work because you run a higher chance of finding somebody that's genuinely like, your wife was like a regular person in society, operating a business, making her income from her business.
Yeah.
When you go to a lot of countries like Colombia and DR and Thailand, you have a high population.
Yeah, it's risky.
It's a high population of girls that are doing that or okay with doing that and may have done it in the past or may have friends that have done it. And then you run into that whole thing. That's when they're like, oh, I'm going to go to Colombia. Passport Bro's like, bro, like it's probably the worst.
It is.
It's the most ill-advised spot to go to for that kind of shit. And I know a lot of guys in their back of their head are like, oh, it's easy. It's fun. It's this. I can go. Just because you can hook up with the girl doesn't mean that she's going to be a good wife to you, a good partner to you, and doesn't mean that that is not going to be given to. Another thing about like Spanish culture, I'll say very openly, it's very sexual.
Yeah.
There's a lot of infidelity. Yeah. In fact, when I rank amongst the highest percentage of people that cheat, Spanish women rank number 1. And when it comes to men, Spanish men are number 2.
Of course.
So it's like that culture is also known for that. So I'd much rather you go to like Japan, India, Korea, whatever it is. Get acclimated first. Because if you go to Colombia for the first time and you're not an expert, like I've been there a bunch of times, you're going to walk right into the trap of the trap of sex work, tourism.
And don't forget, Americans have been killed.
Yes.
Right.
They've gone out. Look at the precautions I took. No gold.
Yes.
Like we speak Spanish. We know people. Like we're tied up.
But there have been American tourists that were well off. They went there. They
walked 2 streets over with a couple of chains on them.
Many different aspects. But I mean, you trust the wrong girl because she loves me. She wants to marry me.
There's a lot of tricks that you got to know there.
Tom, I gotta go get 50 grand out of ATM, man. I gotta help her kid get braces.
Yeah,
we're getting married.
I remember going there. I remember being in Cartagena and I would see these dudes, black dudes, young black dudes, right? Cool dudes, right? Too. Like I fuck with them. They were American. They were like, "Yo, what's up, bro?" Really nice guys at the club, balling. Like, you can get bottles there for like $90, $80.
Yeah.
Tax and tip included. Man. Like, nice bottle. These guys are balling. Because they probably spent that money at home. And I'm like, bro, you guys are just drawing
way too much attention
on yourself.
Yeah.
And the problem with the clubs is this. The way it works in Colombia, for anybody that doesn't know, or South America, you go to a bar and you buy a girl a drink at the bar. That's what you're supposed to do. Because what it does, it almost indirectly tags them to the bar. Yeah. So the bar has the responsibility now to make sure that shit does not happen. Yeah. Because if there is a police report, the last thing they're going to say is, hey, I bought this drink for this girl at the bar. That's their payment. That's how they get money and cover out of the girl for being there. A lot of the bars are basically like prostitution rings in a way. And you go to the bar and there's a lot of girls that are there that are basically just sitting there ready to be, taken home and so on and so forth. And it's almost the entire bar sometimes, exclusively the entire bar is like that. And so in order for the bar to make money, the girls are not buying drinks.
Correct.
The guys that are there are kind of buying their own bottle. They want the girls to be bought a drink. Yeah. That's a rule there.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And just a little fun tip, if you guys go to the DR or Colombia, you want to go to the bar. Don't grab girls from the streets. If you're going to do something like that, if you're going to do something ill-advised, don't ever look that. Just don't grab girls from the streets. Yeah, just stay away. And honestly, if you're looking for love, if you're looking for the Passport Bros thing, I would avoid Colombia, DR, Thailand. I would avoid these areas. They're beautiful countries for the food, for the atmosphere. People are not going to believe me when I say it. Like, the best part about Colombia is the food, by far. Yeah. The food, the treatment, the service, the shit that you can get done there, like mani-pedis for dirt cheap, the horseback riding, the ATVing.
I arepas now.
Yeah, like you can eat and like you can feed a group of 4 for like nothing.
Yeah. I really enjoyed doing the philanthropy out there because I'm not going to lie, it was cheaper to do it. Yeah. Right? Being able to go out there and just feed these families and you felt good about yourself. We didn't talk about it, we just went and did it, but I'm like, wow, out here, you go ask somebody in the corner, hey man, can I get you some McDonald's? I want some fucking money. I don't want your shit food. Yeah. Whoa. Are you really homeless, bro? Yeah. Like, it's crazy, right? It's cool to be able to do
here, you also have a lot of institutions that prevent you from being homeless.
Yeah.
You have family. You have friends. You have aid, like general aid. You have homeless shelters. You have homes like that people can...
And it still happens.
And it still happens. Well, the majority of people that are homeless here are here from drug use.
Unfortunately.
It's not because of... I didn't get a job and the economy got hard and this, that, and third. Like, if that's genuinely the case, people are going to help you out. Like, you've got friends, you've got employers that are like, yo, like, if I'm going to fire you, like, it just doesn't make sense. Most of it is from drugs.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's another interesting point is like the rampant drug use we have here compared to other countries. And you're like, oh, you don't see that epidemic on the streets in some of these third world countries.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say, hey, they're just too poor to get drugged up, but
it's not that. It's because the family structure here is weaker.
It is.
There's a higher rate of divorced parents.
Yes.
There's more fatherless homes.
Yes.
There's not as strict standards for education here. Like, schools in other countries are a lot more strict.
Yep.
There's a almost a freedom that people enjoy here. It's my voice. I can do what I want. I can speak shit on the government.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I need to do. You're not my boss. And that's what allows people to then be their own medicator and their own person.
Yeah.
The healthcare system here is also very different. There's a lot of factors that lead to rampant drug use here in America.
That self-regulation isn't really working.
It doesn't work. I mean, when you're chemically addicted to something, it doesn't work.
Quite literally. Yeah.
No, but Omar, I appreciate you taking the time to hang out today. I definitely want to do more content with you.
Absolutely, man. I loved it. Thank you.
And guys, if you ever, we didn't hit on this too much, but if you ever want a car, if you're looking for a vehicle, this is the guy I go to for all my needs, whether I'm buying something or not, or I flip out of it, or I actually pull the trigger, like the G-Wagon, like the Lexus, like all the other cars I got. Definitely hit up Omar, the car hacker. I'll link all his stuff down below. We'll be having him on a lot more. But guys, appreciate you for being on the Basani podcast, for taking the time out of your day to listen to us. Until next time, peace.